Greetings and welcome to Just Talk with Weird Wizard, in which I play Just Cause and talk about various things, mostly my channel and current events, maybe the odd science and technology news story or whatever else takes my fancy really. I'm playing Just Cause in the background, and the reason for doing that is purely to give you something to look at. I'm not really going to be talking about the game very much, if at all, although it is a great game, and if you've not played it, I highly recommend you go and pick it up on Steam. It's sort of in the Grand Theft Auto vein, I suppose, although perhaps a bit more ridiculous. Let's face it, it's a lot more ridiculous. You do all sorts of crazy things in this game. So let's talk a little bit about channel news as I go flying through the air. Those of you who have been watching my channel, thank you very much. There's not a lot of you. You are a rare breed indeed. We are picking up a few new subscribers, which is good. I've only really been on the air for about a month, and on the air, listen to me. I sound like I'm talking about a proper TV channel instead of just a YouTube channel. But whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go with that. We've been on the air for about a month. It's obviously extremely difficult to get views. I mean, the point of doing this channel was to generate a bit of publicity and a bit of interest whilst doing something that I love, which is playing games. Oh, here we go. Look, you gonna drive me along? Yeah, he's not gonna drive me along. Then it'll be easier to get word out about my own projects. That was the point. That was the idea. Anyway, not sure if it's going to work out because getting people to notice your channel is almost as difficult as getting people to notice your games when you release on Android, at any rate, and you haven't got any money for marketing. But that's another story and another video. For now, this is Just Talk, and we're going to talk mainly about the channel, where we're going to avoid Dev Talk for the time being. That's probably going to be its own feature. We've got two main projects on the go at the moment for the channel. The first one is the Banner Saga, which hopefully, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you have checked out. If you haven't watched all the episodes, I would love to know what has turned you off. There haven't been any new episodes of the Banner Saga. It's kind of stalled out at episode 22, and there is a good reason for that. And that reason is that I'm not really happy with the quality of the earlier episodes. Really only the last couple of episodes I spent any time editing them, and I think that's kind of required actually for the series. As I've gone back and looked over the early episodes, there's a lot of time spent faffing about. There's sort of dead air, to use an industry term, as it were. There's long battles as well, which are not terribly interesting to watch, especially when, for a lot of them, I didn't really know very much of what I was doing and how to do the battles properly, and therefore couldn't really commentate through them and provide any meaningful sort of feedback, which is a shame, because the Banner Saga, I think, is an absolutely awesome game. I love doing all the voices for the characters. I love kind of telling the story, and I think that deserves better treatment than it's gotten in my early episodes, which are really just me playing the game and recording myself as I'm doing it, and then sticking it unedited up onto my channel, and expecting people to sit through and watch it. And some people have, not very many to be fair. There's only 2 or 3 views, I think, 2 or 3 viewers who have actually sat through the entire series. Some of the earlier episodes have got quite a lot more views than that. So I don't know. I'm in a quandary. The question is, do I go back and reboot the whole series, re-record it from the beginning, and apply much more editing and sort of storytelling techniques, and try and create a more attractive series and a more interesting series to watch right from the outset, which means re-recording the entire thing? Do I just take my existing footage that I've got and try and re-edit that, essentially restart the series, but use all my existing footage, maybe re-record the first episode, and then just pick up from where I left off once I've sort of caught up? The third option is just to say, well, chalk it up to experience, because it's a relatively old game. There's lots of other people who've done full let's plays of it, many of which are really good standard. So maybe it's not worth putting any time and effort into it. If you have an opinion on this, I would love to hear it. If you've not watched any of the series, I would encourage you to go and check out, so maybe episode 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know, watch as much of it or as little of it as you want, and then leave a comment and tell me if you think I should do a full reboot, do a partial reboot using existing footage, or just carry on and chalk it up to experience. Or indeed, if you have absolutely no interest in the Banner Saga or the way that I presented it, and you think I should forget about it and never touch it again. That's not going to happen, but it would still be interesting to hear if that is your opinion. The other game that I'm playing at the moment is Stranded Deep, which is pretty new, brand new in fact. Just came into early access a few days ago. I'm really enjoying it. It's a survival game. It's a more realistic take on a survival game. There are no zombies or other things like that, and I really enjoy that about it. It's still got a long way to go, but it's early access so far done right. It's a very playable game. There are no crippling bugs, although there are some annoying ones. It's already had one update, and hopefully the signs are good that they will be doing pretty regular updates, and that they've got a lot of content planned to add. It is a little content light at the moment. There's lots of things I would like to see added. I don't know how much of it they're actually planning on adding. I think they really need to ramp up the survival element, so adding temperature-based effects, and the need for shelter, and the need to find clothing for yourself, and like some sort of clothing system. These are all things I would like to see. Also, at the moment, they just give you a lighter, and so making fire is trivially easy. That could potentially bear to be improved somewhat. But all in all, the best thing about it is a complete and playable game in its own right at the moment. You can sink many, many hours into it without feeling like there's just blatantly content missing, or it just runs out, or it lacks enough polish to be able to play it. Most importantly of all, it's cheaper than the final game. It's only £10 to buy it on Steam in early access. I'm assuming that the final game will be more like £20, £25, and that is the correct way to do early access, as I commented in my update video on it. I cannot stand companies that try and charge a premium for early access, or the same price as the release version. It's totally the wrong way to do it. Early access is offloading risk onto your customer base. It's asking people to back an idea without a really clear information on how it's going to turn out and what it's going to be like in the end. So yeah, I like that about it, and I like its style, and yeah, it's good. It's well worth checking out, and I'm going to keep doing Let's Plays of it, at least for the time being. I'll probably switch it up and stop doing the day-by-day survival, which I'm doing at the moment, and just start recording sort of highlights of interesting things, or begin some grand projects. I've got ideas about building like a great big holiday resort, something like that. I'm also going to look at doing some little one-offs. I did a game called The Old Tree, which is a cute little game. I recommend checking out that video if you're interested in finding out what that's all about. And there will be others. There will be other little ones as the time goes on. As always, likes, subscribes, all that stuff is really great. It's fantastic to see. It always puts a massive smile on my face when I pick up a new subscriber, or if somebody likes a video, because I mean, at this stage, with such a tiny channel, every single one is a significant milestone for me. So I have been Weird Wizard. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you later. Nick Clegg and The Last Leg. The Last Leg is effectively a comedy show, but it's also a bit of a current events show. It was on last night. Nick Clegg is the Deputy Prime Minister of the UK, and so he's a pretty big wig. He did an interview with Charlie Brooker. I highly recommend that you jump onto 4OD and you check out this show if you've not seen it already. The interview is absolute gold. I have to say, I have never seen an interviewer be so good at getting a politician to come across as a real person, and to keep them on topic, and to answer really difficult questions. Well worth checking out, and I don't think it would have done Nick Clegg any harm at all.